Eko Deva. Sarva Bhutesu Gudha. Sarva Bhutesu. Even in England, in Germany, in America, you touch your hand there, you touch that existential is. There is one, and it's Gudha. Gudha means cryptically present. It is not superficially present. You should have depth vision to see this one thing is there. As I suppose there are 100 types of worship. Yes, 100 types of worship or upasana is there. But how many divinities? One. It is such a wonderful statement and so rigidly believed by Indian philosophers. They have all their articles to show you that it is not easy to throw them out of court. I will give you just one example. India is such a country, all religions flourished here. India produced 3 major religions of the world. Brahmanism or Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. The other 2 came to India and they are happily, they are accepted, welcome. So altogether there are 5 religions as we understand in the world, and all these 5 have their room, their place here. I will give one example. Suppose you say Allah. Allah is an Arabic word. What does it mean? Omnipresent. Allah means omnipresent, which is present everywhere, and there cannot be a place where He is absent. There begins the Quranic inspiration. Allah is everything, omnipresent, everywhere present. Omnipotent, all that is not material for us. What is most material for us? It is there. Allah. What is your Vishnu? Vishnu means all, everywhere present, omnipresent. But if you say Allah is Vishnu, neither you will be accepted by this group, nor accepted by that group, nor even by the third group. Grammarians will come. Vishnu cannot be Allah. But what is the meaning? I am not concerned with the language, not with the grammar. What is the meaning? There is something, first line. You cannot say there is not. Impossible. Utter there is not. And you will see how volleys of thunder will pass from Indian batteries. In the warfield, Indian batteries are there. And the fire. Similarly, in the philosophical world, batteries are there from Indian side and they fight. The Nayayikas can fight for coming 100 years, 1000 years. It will come to Vedantin, they will take another 1000 years. Mimamsa will take another 1000 years. Nobody agreeing with the other, but fighting is the same direction that there is. And that is also one. You cannot say two. So, this paved the way for synthesis of all religions. But it is not a synthesis in Hegelian pattern. Hegel attempted synthesis in the West, but our synthesis is of a different term. It is a symbolic synthesis. Every religion is a symbol. Every religious act is a symbol depicting something which is about one and of one. So suppose you find some Christian is offering prayer. You can ask yourself, to whom is he praying? Not to Jesus Christ. No. Yes, to Jesus Christ praying. But before Jesus Christ, the Ease was there. He is praying to the Ease. And in Bhagavad Gita, pages and pages, Lord has in the warfield has explained this, that all religions worship one God, one divinity. Suppose you have 10 members in a family. You took 10 glasses of water. How many glasses of water has been consumed? By 10. But how many satisfactions have been earned? Only one. Satisfaction, not 10 satisfactions are not there. Because all these 10 persons of the family are nothing other than that emanation of that hidden one, Eko Deva, Sarva Bhutesu Gudha, the hidden one. But we demand that which is not hidden, let it be brought out. No. We are talking about hidden one. And who has discovered that hidden? Nobody. So the Indian culture demands there must be something hidden, and that hidden is Sat, Sanamulam, and that is one. And once you admit this, Indian culture will have its own way. Now we are entering into the third or second page. What is culture? Culture is the totality of authentic behavior of an individual or a group or all people together. Authentic behavior. And that is culture. And what is the limit of culture? Minimum culture is utter selfishness. Utter selfishness. The person he will not eat because his money will be exhausted, therefore will preserve money, not taking himself. He can't spend money on food. So that is utter selfishness. Selfishness is understood, but that word utter, by uttering it, I am emphasizing how poor that person is. He is not enjoying. He is keeping only. I won't lecture what will happen to that. Horrible. And that Indians have already pointed out. If you cannot do anything, enjoy yourself. And no, I will not enjoy. What will you do? No, I will keep for others. Others will take that away. You need not keep for them. So, first pointer is utter selfishness. Go up, go up, go up, go up. What is the other pole? Universal benevolence. One limit is utter selfishness. Then selfishness vanishes, vanishes, vanishes. Something grows, something grows, something grows. Come to a point. That is universal benevolence. Even if I eat for others. Aditya believes in that philosophy. We eat. We fight. For what? For others. Universal benevolence. And what are others? They are no other than our Sanmula. The same thing is others, the same thing is myself. Same thing is yourself. So equation is carried on that cryptic object called Sat. It cannot be described. Wherever we describe it, difficulty. There cannot be any positive description or definition of Sat. Impossible. Oh, you can define, but that can't be final. Then what happens? Now our culture becomes a cryptic culture. And it has a range. Range is where? Utter selfishness. Go on. Expand yourself. Expand and come to a place. Universal benevolence. If the dog eats, it is as good as my eating. When this identification comes, then Indian philosophy or Indian culture is placed before you. In other words, there is no other. Somebody comes to India. He says, I am other. Yes, sir, come on, welcome, come on, come on. And he comes and becomes a part and parcel of India. So the Indian culture became highly composite, not mere composite. European culture is composite. But Indian culture is highly composite. What is the meaning of this highly? As there was utter, that utter selfishness. Selfishness is alright, but utter means it excludes every other possibility. So, whosoever comes to this place, Indians say, he appears different. Mark the word appears. He appears different. That's why so many types of dress is accepted in India. Of course, in some of the temples, if you go, only a particular type of dress you can wear and go. But if you go with another dress, someday, somebody will say, it is a mistake. 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 He has committed a mistake. Nothing else. So, Indian culture established on one view also that there is no other. Anya nahi hai. Suppose you say, my wife is an author. No. Sahadharmini. How can an author be Sahadharmini? So all Indian concepts have been interwoven. One fundamental concept, that there is cryptic something, it is in everything, so there is no other. Is there any enemy? No. There is no enemy. Then if there is no enemy, with whom are you fighting? This is exactly from Bhagavan Arjuna raised the question. Nirvaira sarvabhutesu, be friendly to everybody. Arjuna said, you are simply killing me. Be friendly to everybody and use a fire and kill this one and the other. How is it possible? That is the secret of Gita. Being friendly to everybody, you can shoot and shoot till his death. This is a very horrible thing. Juddhasya vigata jara. Jara means emotional responses. Without any emotional response, fire. And what happens? If you come to victory, as good. If you lose it, as good. So even victory and defeat have no difference of meaning. So Bhagavad Gita carries the totality of Indian culture of all times. It came from the Vedas, brought to Upanishads. Upanishads was a jungle. It was brought to Brahma Sutra. Then Brahma Sutra by itself is magnanimous. From Brahma Sutra, you come to Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is all Vedanta Sara Sangraha. All essence is deposited there. And the trouble is, you have to fight when there is no other. Fantastic. How can you fight when there is no other? And if you admit other, you have no right to fight. You can only fight when you know that there is no other. In our technical way, it is called Dvaita Nirasha. We do not admit duality, nor plurality. Wherever there is plurality, in the basic there must be a duality. Because without duality, there cannot be plurality. So if we destroy duality somewhere, there cannot be assertion of plurality. All is one. This thought was accepted in Greece. In Greece, Parmenides looked to the sky and said, oh, all is one. You look to the sky. You just look to the sky for 25 minutes and you yourself will come to the conclusion, oh, it is all one. That all is one was carried by Alexander to India. So India accepted its own coin. It's not that India accepted the Greek thought. Impossible. I must praise Indian Brahmins for their virility in intellectual field. They will not accept anything. But they will accept when the very same thing they are. You can say that Indian Brahmins are so rigid, they do not accept anything. No. Then they would not have accepted Jagannath. He have accepted Jagannath. Why? Because the inner being is exactly the same. So when Greek thought came, all this is one. It was an emotional expression. But it was intellectually worked out India also. So India accepted Parmenides. Because India accepted Parmenides, India accepted Plato. Because I accepted Plato, he accepted Plotinus. All the galaxy of Western mystics were accepted by Indian mystics. So it's not that Greek thought disturbed Indian thought. Of course, disturb have two meanings. One is disturb for bad, another disturb for good. Somebody is enjoying sound sleep. You go and say, hey, rise up, you are disturbing. But how good it is that you should do, rise up and enjoy and work. So disturbance has two meanings. One is disturbing for bad, disturbing for good. Now, what Greek culture came to disturb India is, Indian people said, dear Greek culture, you say what exactly I say. So it was accepted. Nothing to be disturbed. Similarly, Islamic culture. Islamic culture. And the surface is so hard that even today, most of us will not be in a position to say that it can be accepted. There are cases. I will not expose everything now. But one thing is true. These Indians, I don't say Hindus, these Indians understood, what he says exactly we say. It may differ predicatively, but substantively it is the same. Predicative and substantive distinction must be made. See a red cat. See a blue cat. Yes. See a yellow cat. Yes. What are you admitting? Predicative difference with the substantive identity. You know what is a cat. Then see a cat. Yes. See a dog. Yes. See a bullock. Yes. What are you doing? Predicative differences are there, but there is one is. The cat is. Bullock is. Dog is. Can you say that dog is not? So Indian people saw that behind and under predicative differences there is a substantive identity, and that substantive identity is Spinoza also and your Hegel also. Everywhere in the world. This was appreciated in America by Emerson. He said, hey, the Indian people are strange people. Say what? They say Brahma. And is there any translation of the word Brahma? Yes, there is, but it is absolute, non-relative, beyond cognition. No, Brahma must be written in English as Brahma. Emerson wrote a poetry on Brahma. Because it is beyond language. You can use language. So you find such a state of affair prevails in India that we always believe in predicative differences, but we accept substantive identity. Now I come to last part of it, because I know your time must be known to me, but anyway I am trying as a teacher, what could be the time? See, what can you do under such circumstances? What can you do? It is said that men, gods and demons or asuras went to Prajapati and asked, what should we do? She gave one word of thou. What is thou? They went to search dictionary, there is no meaning of thou. Because thou is a cryptic word. It is not a dictionary word. What they did? Asuras thought and thought and thought. And if you go through Upanishads, you will find when you go to your teacher, sir, give me knowledge. Go and for 1000 years practice penance. See? All our students have rejected your Vani Vihar if you say like this from the beginning. Somebody says, I have come with all the degrees, I want to read in Vani Vihar. Now go and practice penance for 1000 years. What is this? That means you meditate, you cogitate and find out the meaning. Do not find out meaning with the teacher or with your textbook or with your dictionary. So, the asuras got it, daya, compassion. Don't be rough. The ruffian attitude must be changed to compassion. Then the mentor, then say thou, what is thou? Thou means dhamma. Dhamma means control yourself. Human being is the same person to God, asuras also. You don't be rash. Dhamma, you bring control to your own behavior. Don't be furious and take a decision. No. Dhamma. And another meaning of dhamma came, daya, dana. If you have little, share it with others. There is no other dharma than this. Control yourself It's not for Asuras alone, we have also Asuric element in us. It can be demonstrated psychologically that Asuric elements are present in us also under psychological test. And Deva is also with us, and Nara is also there. So all these three doors applies to us. Control yourself, self-control. Are you feeling angry? Yes, count 10. One of our professor, Narlikar, told, do you know what I am doing all this time? The student said, no sir, I was counting 10. He could not understand what is counting 10. That means I am losing temper. How to conquer it? Count 10. In the open class he did it. Professor Narlikar, this Narlikar's father, who in Benares University, all of us are there. And first thing is control yourself. I will control the world. No. First control yourself. You are an uncontrollable being. What are you going to control the world? Control yourself. Then have compassion. Then third is dana. What is dana? Share with others. If you have money, share with others. If you have sweets, share with others. And I'll almost bring to the end with another story. Story element, that Puranic element must explain also these hard substances. One day God, Lord, invited all people of the globe to Vaikuntha. All, Deva, Ashura, Manava, Tirja, everyone. So they went, and as soon as they went to the gate, their hand was packed with a piece of wood. So their hand was stripped. And said, go to the dining hall. All of them to the dining hall and found food is sour, beautiful smell, beautiful appearance, and hand is now straight like this. With another piece of wood, both the hands have been sealed. And after half an hour, Lord himself came. I am so happy that all of you have come. And you must have enjoyed what has been served as a dinner. Tell me your reaction. Everybody said, how to enjoy? We have no hands. This is the trouble. You pick up, give to his mouth, and he will pick up, give to your mouth. This is cooperation. Where cooperation will fail, their culture will fail. We must live with cooperation. If you cannot take, he will help you. And if he cannot take, he will help you. And how is this cooperation possible? Remember the first fundamental rule. All differences are predicative. There is no substantive difference anywhere. And it can be elaborated. American culture has accepted it all too early. And do you think when Swami Vivekananda went and taught all these things there, do you think American people did not know it? But they admired it. Why? Because whatever we know, they also know. Whatever we know, they also know. So what happens? Again, predicative differences presuppose substantive identity. Then Vivekananda told them that this is Vedanta. Then they declared Vedanta is in America and America is in Vedanta. So with this, we can see how to behave. We behave with most of the time by predicative differences. But how should we behave? Cryptic. It's not available at the surface. Cryptic. Substantive identity. Tushrim Bhagava. When he will be pressed, tell what it is. It is Vishnu. It is Allah. It is the Lord. It is Parameshwara. It is Paramatma. Go on talking. But a particular stage is Tushrim Bhagava. Don't say yes, don't say no, keep quiet. So Indian philosophy bases itself on perfect silence. In Upanishads, 100 times the disciple asks, Sir, I came to you to learn Vedanta. Teach me Vedanta. He didn't say anything. Again said, Sir, I took so much of pain to come from my family. I came to this place. 1,000 years I had penance. And what do you say? Give me Vedanta. He smiled. I am teaching you Vedanta every time and you are not able to catch it, it is silence. कुछ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. It is such a deep truth in Indian culture that it cannot be compared with anything anywhere. Even Brahma cannot be compared with anything. So India has its own culture. And if we stick to it, every culture is our culture. Every culture. Suppose I'll give an example which is a little diversity. Suppose you worship your God after taking bath. Today you have not taken bath early in the morning, but you know God must be feeling hungry. Can you worship Him or ask Him, what sir, I am going to take my bath. After coming from bath, half an hour I will give you meals. This is one way. The other way is, hey, you are hungry. No, take. Another is suppose eating something and he say, oh God, you are hungry. Share with it. Three behaviors are there. And Indian culture will admit all three. Because your love towards God is as much as a mother's love towards a child. So, will mother wait to take a bath and then to feed God? Of course, that is one way. Oh God, starve till you starve. I come after my work, then I will feed you. That is not denied. We don't reject anything. In Indian culture, we do not reject anything. Suppose Aditya says something about me which is I did not realize or which is not true, I should not reject. I know that identity behind of all the differences. And we are so much happy with the differences that we are not able to locate the identity in it. We are happy with all our differences. My son is different from me. Is it biologically not true? Your son is yourself. How dare you say that my son is different from me? My wife is different from me, no? Sahadharmini. Dharma means must be common. Dharma is not religion. Dharma is identity of purpose. Unless there is an identity of purpose between two, you are not married. So, Indian culture is a culture of synthesis, tolerance, accommodative. But the reason which it gives is highly cryptic. Nobody can say the table is. You go on describing table where is will come out SLC. Nobody. Suppose you are having apple. Apple is. Now you describe. It is red in culture, its taste is such, its vitamin is such, all that. But has ease come? Ease is Gupta. Therefore, Indian culture always wants that we must be always substantively identical in our thought and deed. I think it will do. Very exciting. Civilization and culture. सब जगह कहियो आउ थे डाकियो नहीं ना कौन he is a ocean of mine of ocean of knowledge and still he says civilization and culture. India has a civilization. Every country has a civilization. India has a culture. Every country has a culture. What is the difference between civilization and culture? I told one of the meetings, civilization is what we have.